Night Radio. This is the weekly music podcast where every week we get into a different band, different artist, and we listen to all of the records so you don't have to. And we rank them from worst to best. We give our biggest banger from each of them if we got them. And we are in... Dude, why do you do this? We are in punk season. We are in punk season. We got that going for the next few weeks. While you're listening, go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars, tell your friends, share all the posts. If you're watching on YouTube, smash that subscribe button. My name is Tyler, and way out there, hundreds of miles away, is Jeff. So we're done with that. Normally we start with the 6 Degrees of Tom DeLonge. Once again, I forgot. That's okay, but it's easy. There's some easy connections here, right? Am I right?
Misfits has played with a lot of people, and we've already done like Black Flag, so like Dez, we could have went that route.
We could have gone the Dave Lombardo route, AC Slade route with Joey and all that kind of shit. Many different routes. But anyway, so we're doing all 7 of their records. We're not doing Legacy of Brutality. We're not doing 12 Hits from Hell, but we are doing Static Age. So deal with it, suckers. And we're going to call Static Age. And we're going to call Static Age their first record. I don't care what anyone says. It's their first record. I don't make the rules. So let's start with the worst Misfits record. What is the worst thing you got here, Jeff? Number 7. Go. God,
Number 7.
So annoying.
Number 7, Project 1950. Their 6th record, 2003. You know, this was a 4-song EP that just had Magic Moment, Dream Lover, Donna, and Monster Mash. I'd fucking buy it. I'd buy it in a heartbeat.
Yeah,
I would buy it in a heartbeat. Otherwise, I playlist those songs. I will never, ever, ever, ever listen to this again because
you
it's
actually
stupid.
playlisted them, huh?
They're good songs, especially Monster Mash. Like, how the fuck does that not how's that not made onto a record since now?
I know, right? It's a classic song. It's
silly.
A truly classic song.
That's like that song was written for the Misfits. It's just silly to do. Like, come on, guys. Come on.
It was written for the Misfits. Yes.
Come on.
All right. So my number 7 is also Project 1950 from 2002.
Good boy. Good boy.
Yeah, it's a covers album. All songs from the 1950s and 60s. This is the first album that Jerry only sang lead vocals on. Michael Graves left the band at this point. This is a brand new lineup of the band. Des Cadena on guitar, Jerry on bass and vocals, and I think Robo, I believe, was on drums. But this album kind of it just sucks. It just sucks. It's just I have nothing good to say about it outside of, like you said, really those songs. But even those songs, they're fine. They're okay covers. They're fine. So.
Monster Mash is a banger of a cover just because I think it perfectly matches their aesthetic. The other ones, I just like those songs a lot, and I like what they kind of did with them, but I could do without them. But Monster Mash is the only like cool ass cover. Just like, damn.
Agreed.
How does not happen until now?
Agreed. So that's it. I don't want to talk about this album anymore. And the album cover, fucking awful album cover.
Sucks.
Like fucking Igor
Stupid.
from like a bootleg cartoon Igor from Frankenstein. Terrible.
Dumb.
So number 6. What do you got for number 6? Worst Misfits record.
Number 6, which is a good record. Actually, everything now is I enjoyed. I didn't really enjoy Project 1950, but The Devil's Reign, their 7th record, 2011. This record's pretty good. Like, in context, this record is good. It's not a punk record. It's not trying to be anything but like fun and spooky. That's all it's trying to do. It's got strong melodies. For the most part, Jerry singing's fits a tone of music pretty well. My biggest complaint is the second half. The second half of this record drops in quality. A lot of ballads, a lot of just generic filler songs, a lot of generic boring ass singing. This one could have used like a good time cut by like in half. But it gets a lot of shit and people hate it. And I get it. Like, it's a Misfits record, but they're trying to do so many different things here and not really doing anything good. But like, come on. It's a good fucking like Halloween spooky night record.
Mm-hmm.
It's cool.
Yeah.
It's fine.
All right. So my number 6 is Famous Monsters, 5th record from 1999. I don't think this is a bad record. I don't think it's a good record. I think it's pretty down the middle, riding the fence here. This is the last one they did with Michael Graves. Michael Graves raves. I just thought after coming off of American Psycho, it seemed a little phoned in, like they were just kind of doing what they knew. And I mean, he's not, I hate comparing him to the Danzig because Danzig was so great, but it's just like, because you're not the greatest, or not the greatest, but because you're not just super cool and you don't have the best melodies, like you got to come up with something different. American Psycho was cool because it was different, but just I don't care. It's kind of boring and kind of phoned in. And you read more about like the history, like Michael Graves and Robo were on their way out at this point. I think it was Robo. Fuck, I don't remember. He's always been in and out of the band. I always forget. But they were just on their way out of the band at this point, and they quit, I believe, very shortly after this record came out. So,
Yeah.
Famous Monsters, it's fine. There's really nothing terrible about it. So, what do you have for number 5?
Famous Monsters, their fifth. What's cool about this is how deep they went into like the spooky side of things.
Mm-hmm.
And beforehand, like the lyrically and then in the early records, it was kind of like buried a little bit. This is just fucking outward. Like these songs are based off like monsters and other spooky lore things. So it's not really hidden. It's out there. Everything's out there. It's really goofy. It's really campy. The cover art's really iconic. And I've always known this cover.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it's so stupid and ugly. And I was like, dude, how the fuck do people like this? Like, it's like a boy band. That's what they look like, is a boy band. But it's cool. They have a music video directed by George Romero. Like, it's cool. The music is pretty heavy. It's pretty gritty. I don't have a lot of negative things to say about this one because I think it's fun.
Yeah,
but like, you're right. Everybody quit at this record. So it's just like, the fuck is the point? Everything's just like mid on this thing. I think it's an easy listen because like it's still in the realm of kind of punky Misfits. And I think if you're new to the Misfits and kind of new to punk music, this would be like an easy transition.
Really
it would be fun to get into this one first and then get into other things. But otherwise, like, meh. But the song "Forbidden Monsters," I playlist of that one too. That's a fucking dope song.
It's a good song. Yeah, it's a good song. So also, mind you, normally we listen to records chronologically from the first record to the last. We did it the opposite way with this time around because we just thought it'd be more fun to just end on a better note with the Danzig era. So we did go backwards, starting with Devil's Reign. So just throwing that out there. So my number 5 is American Psycho, 4th record from '97, the first with Michael Graves. This is definitely just more of like, I don't want to say, it's very aggressive, like production wise, musically. It's some of the most aggressive stuff that they've done, like comparatively to the Danzig era. Not to say that it's better. It's just it's certainly more aggressive, which was intentional. I think after Sam Hain being out for so long, the Danzig stuff. They wanted to do something heavier, just as like kind of like a clap back to Glenn. But no, there's some really catchy moments. I think the title track, American Psycho, is fantastic. That's my banger. It's just so much fun to sing. I love the cover. I like the cover artwork. It's cheesy, it's stupid, but so is all their artwork. Outside of Project 1950, that cover is terrible garbage. But American Psycho, this album is it's straight up fun, just straight up fun horror punk, horror hardcore. It's just good. There's nothing. I really don't have anything bad to say about it. Just in comparison to Danzig, it doesn't stand anywhere close. So,
okay, girl.
American Psycho, number 5.
Okay.
What do you got for number 4?
So you really like that Devil's Reign, huh? You put that in top 3? Probably.
It's possible.
Stupid move.
What do you got for number
4? Final 4, Elite 4, American Psycho, 4th record. The song American Psycho, dude, this is perfect classic Misfits. Like the woes, the quickness of it, the chuggy guitars, incredible song. So let's throw that out there right now. The problem with this record is it's just not Misfits sounding after that. And again, like you said, compare this to the Danzig era stuff, and you wouldn't even know this is the same band after the title track. Crimson Ghost was another banger on this album. I did playlist that one too, but outside of those two things, it just doesn't sound like Misfits, and it's not a bad record. It's just kind of boring overall without those two songs, and it's like whatever.
Yeah, these albums shouldn't have been listed as Misfits records. I mean, they don't sound anything like the Danzig era because Danzig wrote all that fucking music. So it's just silly.
I mean, weird. Misfits are two things, right? Misfits are two things. They're the croon, right? Danzig's croon. If that's the most important thing to the Misfits is the Danzig croon. If that's not there, then already it's not the Misfits.
Agreed. I totally agree. So your 4 was American Psycho. Your banger was what?
Psycho.
What was your banger?
I mean, American Psycho is my banger, but God, that song is so fucking good.
It is really good, and it opens the whole song. The whole song starts with the whoa whoa, like it immediately just starts off with a hook, like
Yeah.
so fucking catchy. I love it. And then the cow, and then it's crazy. It's up there with like I would say that's like maybe like a top 10 or probably top 10 Misfits song. Top 15.
I'd say it's a top 10 Misfits song for sure.
It's great. It's fucking fantastic song. I don't care. So my number 4, The Devil's Reign, 7th record from 2011, their last record that they put out. This is a Jerry only record. It's Jerry only on bass vocals, his son Jerry Other on guitar, and forgot the drummer's name. But anyway, just those three. So I haven't listened to this record since the last time we did Misfits, which was over 3 years ago. And I hated it back then. I checked my rankings, bottom tier, did not like it. But this is fun. This is like really fun horror punk. Like it doesn't take itself too seriously at all. Not to say Danzig stuff did, but I mean, it's perfect. It's the perfect campiness. It's catchy in a lot of parts. Yeah, the latter half of the record gets a little bit slower, more ballady, but there's still some good shit there.
You like ballads though.
I thought this is a really fun, really, really fun record. I'd listen to it again. I would never get on vinyl, but I would certainly listen to it again. I got Vivid Red, absolute banger. Jack the Ripper, absolute fucking banger. 2 great songs. So yeah, I don't know. I just thought this is really, it's not bad at all. It's good. And just if you take the Misfits name off of it, I feel like this album would have been more successful as you're putting Chapstick on. And I was actually wrong.
You put Chapstick on?
The lineup for this band was Jerry only, Des Cadena on guitar, and then Eric Chupacabra Arce on or Arce, I don't know, on drums. So I was wrong with the lineup. But anyway, dude, your chapstick is so fucking gross. I've never known anybody. If you're watching the video on YouTube or Spotify, you just saw that. Or if you haven't, go rewind it because your chapstick is fucking wild. It is wild.
I've always just liked to get like a good little curve on top or like a weird point or I don't know.
It's like I'm not even gonna say.
It gives you something to do while you're putting it on. You know, shaping it,
sucking on it,
looking like a dog's red rocket is what it looks like.
Dude. Sucking on a wiener.
Sucking on a wiener. So number 3?
4 Devil's Reign for me. Also, I like the cover art too. The cover art's really cool. I really, really do like the cover art on the Devil's Reign. So I'm a fan. I'm a fan of this record. So what do you got for number 3? Go.
Number 3, Earth AD / Wolf's Blood. I think this is a perfect 3. Like for me, this is their perfect 3. I think my 1, 2, and 3 should be everybody's 1, 2, and 3. I just do because it just should.
Yeah.
So fuck off.
Okay.
But I mean, like this is their wild punker record. Like something that's just. They're incredibly fast, incredibly aggressive on this one. They took what they've already been doing on Static Age and just fucked it up. They scream and yell like they're bad brains. They still have some like semblance of Danzig croon too, so it's not entirely lost. But like, dude, they rip on this record. My God, they're so fast, and it's 15 minutes long.
Yeah,
it's cool. I like it. Like Blood Feast, like that's my favorite song from this one. It's a perfect Misfits track to show the croon and keep it really hardcore punk. Like that's what it is. We stopped being like rockabilly kind of Ramones pop punky, and now we're just straight up fucking hardcore punk.
Yeah, they turned it up on this record for sure.
That's what it is, man. It's the punk side with the dancing croon. Those are the two things that make the Misfits.
So that's your number 3. My number 3 is also. Oh, what's your banger off this one?
Blood Feast.
Blood Feast. Okay, that's an interesting one. All right. So my number 3 is Earth AD Wolf's Blood. It has a bunch of different kind of names to it as well. 1983 third record. Taking Out 12 Hits from Hell. This is just probably their most aggressive record. I mean, American Psycho comes close, but this is their most aggressive record. I think the I'm just double checking. Yeah, it's 15 minutes in length, but I think with the like on Spotify, I think there's like bonus tracks and shit So it comes out to be like
They
22
put
minutes or something.
because they put
They put
"Can I Go
Dynamite
Out and
Darling.
Kill People Tonight, Mom?" That song.
Yeah, Mommy, can I go
They
out and
put
kill tonight?
they put that song at the end of Wolf's Blood,
Yeah,
and that makes it longer. Which that's I don't know why they did that, but
eh,
it should only be 15 minutes. This record should only be 15 minutes,
should only be 15 minutes. Okay,
according to like gospel, right? It should only be 15 minutes.
correct. Yeah, it's short as hell. So yeah, no, this is like you said, this is a very aggressive record. Also, this record was released 2 months after the band broke up. They played that, I believe it was their last show on Halloween of '83 or something like that, or 80. Yeah, Halloween of '83. They played the last show. Danzig said, "You know what? This is the band's last show. I'm done. I'm out." And then he put it out 2 months later. So they never really got to
Word.
tour on it properly, but that doesn't say much because a lot of these songs were written and recorded prior to the album. So I don't know. It's a great record. I don't go back to it too often because I don't know. Walk Among Us and Static Age are just too fucking good. But Earth AD, Wolf's Blood, just fantastic, fantastic fucking record. Short and sweet. Green Hell, one of my bangers. Die My Darling, which is technically on the, I think like the bonus part of it, but you gotta love that song. But otherwise, Green Hell, so good.
I think the Die Die My Darling was on Legacy or like a specific Die Die My Darling.
It had a single
Thing?
because I used to have that single, a repress of that single. But that's kind of the not annoying thing, but kind of the weird thing about this band is that most of these songs that are on these records were on as singles, as B sides, or an EP or some shit prior to the actual album coming out, which was cool, but I don't know, whatever. Green. I'll just say Green Hell is my banger off this one. So what do you got for number 2?
Number 2, Walk Among Us.
Album of the week, eh?
Straight up, baby. Album of the week. Walk Among Us. Walking.
All right, my number 2 is Static Age.
It's wrong, dude.
Technically their first record, recorded in 1978, but it wasn't released until 1996. This is certainly more subdued than the following 2 records. They're just some of the catchiest songs are on this record too. We Are 138, Angel Fuck, Hybrid Moments. I love these fucking songs so much. They're my biggest bangers, and it's crazy at this time that they couldn't find like proper distribution. They couldn't find a label that wanted to really kind of put this one out. So they fucking shelved it. They shelved it until 1996, and then they didn't put fucking Walk Among Us out until 1982. They're supposed to put it out in 81, but they put it in 82. 4 years fucking later, and this record just nothing, just fucking nothing. But then eventually, some of these songs, or like half of this record, ended up being on the Legacy of Brutality compilation in 1985. So a lot of people got to hear a lot of these songs, but
And they're blown away.
yeah, it's just some good shit on here. I have nothing bad to say about this one at all. It's great. So what your number 1 is Static Age. What do you got on it?
This is it, dude. This is the bee's knees right here. The most important thing about the Misfits is Danzig's croon. That is the most important thing. The punk thing comes secondary always, because you can still exist without the punk thing, as we see on Static Age. And not to say this is slow by any means. It's still really fucking fast and raucous. Yeah. They recorded this shit just like a couple years after the Ramones cut their first, right? And then obviously this is exponentially better than that shit. But you do hear some of that influence. It's hard to say like the song Some Kind of Hate isn't inspired because of all like the woes, all like the little down chugging they do. There's a lot of Ramones on this record.
You hear it on Walk Among Us too. You hear the Ramones on Walk Among Us.
Yeah, but like,
but not to this extent.
Technically, this was first. So that's why I
know what
you're not. Yeah. But yeah, like it's you cannot deny that these guys were not inspired by the Ramones and thought like we can just do that whole lot better, and they did, and it's cool. And Danzig has an amazing voice here, and he just yells the whole time, but somehow finds room to like show us he's this weird punk rock Sinatra. Angel Fuck, that's my favorite song. I fucking love that song so goddamn much. But I think Hybrid Moments is probably like their best song objectively, like out of all their songs.
Yeah,
I think Hybrid Moments might be their best song. And it's just, dude, it's absolutely bonkers. This record wasn't heard by so many people for so long. But I get it. These lyrics are outrageous. They are wild. They're outrageous. The shit he says in this record is fucking crazy. And to think that like 2 Live Crews getting shit on because like big booty hoes dancing in their videos, and like here's Danzig like saying some of the shit he says on this. It's like, come on, dude, what the fuck? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and they were
Crazy.
pretty big in the scene. I mean, the punk scene wasn't huge in the 70s and 80s, but I mean, they were one of the biggest bands to come out of the fucking scene, and that they didn't get more, kickback from all that. But what are you gonna do?
It's crazy. Dude, 17 songs on this, and every single song has its own identity. Every single song has its own unique identity. They're all a little bit different, but all still kind of like Static Age Misfits.
Yeah.
This is an incredible record. Like this is beyond banger status. This is incredible. It's incredible.
Also, Static Age. I mean, it could. I mean, depending on my mood, it could be my number one.
It should have been your number one.
Right now, it's Walk Among Us, but I mean, they're really like interchangeable records. But
they're not though. Static Age should always be number one.
Settle down. Settle down. So, you got anything else on Static Age?
I mean, we keep going. Did you read about the guy that fucking got arrested for obscenity because he was linked in the Static Age page? Page, and he that was a crazy fucking story. I could not believe
but that was like that was like in the late 80s, right? When he wrote he wrote a cartoon based off of
some shit. Angel Fuck. Those
Angel
his thing's name. But he was he went to trial. He got convicted in fucking Florida, of course.
The first person to ever be convicted of obscenity in the United States.
And so I think he got like very, very little jail time, like a week or something less, which is still fucking bizarre. But they treated him like a drug dealer. He had to go through like probation for like 3 or 5 years of probation, including like parole style probation too. Like he can be searched at any point, any time of the day, wherever the fuck he is, and he has to give up every single one of his like drawings to his probation officer, and he has to go through it and make sure it's okay, not obscene, and then give it back to him at any 24 hours a day. And what's even crazier is that he finally got off probation in like 2005 or 10 or something like that.
What the fuck?
Like just because it got delayed, like if you get a speeding ticket, 2 more years probation, more probation.
Yeah.
Like Florida's like literally the worst state in fucking America. It's fucking garbage.
Yeah, it's pretty awful.
I'm like, it's sad because it's not a good time to call Florida the worst state in America, but man, that state is just fucking garbage.
Hurricane season, baby. What do you expect?
It's about to take it out, probably.
It happens. My dad's in Miami, and he said like nothing's going on in Miami. Like storm wise, like it's raining a little bit, and that's it. But Florida's a big state, dude. It's bigger than England.
Florida's a big state. It's
bigger than Britland's.
Bigger than Britland's.
For friend of the pod, Skip out there trying to
bigger than the Scotland's.
Figure that out. Anyway, let's finish this episode. We'll get into the album of the week, Walk Among Us, from the Misfits. Punk season. We're full-fledged into punk season. And so, tell your friends, share all the posts, smash that subscribe button on YouTube, and that's it. That's all.
Bullet points.
It doesn't